Alright, what's up everybody? Afflicted Gamer here. Welcome back to Vigor. So I thought I would make a follow-up video to my tips for beginners video. The simple fact that there is a lot more to learn, and when I made the first video I didn't want it to be 20 plus minutes long, and could have been, well, a little bit too much for some. I didn't want to overwhelm anybody, I guess that's the best way to put that. So anyhow, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into everything that I didn't mention in the first video. Number one, do the tutorial. I can't stress this enough. And I don't mean speed run through it. I mean listen to the radio announcer. Take your time to look around. There's a little bit of resources in there, enough so that you could do your first upgrade on the crafting bench even. So take your time, listen to the radio announcer, and complete the tutorial. When you first get back to your shelter and it's your first time interacting with anything, you'll see that little tooltips pop up. Read them. It will save you from making mistakes like going into an encounter with a weapon and no bullets. So, read them. Then you will see that there are daily challenges that you can complete. They are great and absolutely worth doing. It's a great way to get some extra weapons, resources, and when you're new to the game, the very top challenge is one that will change as soon as you complete the previous one. There's roughly 10 or 15, I think, challenges for new players. They will be simple tasks like craft a Thompson, use the comm station, the signals detector. They're all things that will help you become more acquainted with the game and how the game works, so do them. Next up, when you first go into encounters, you'll see that when you're in the main lobby, you have the option to boost the lobby, boost the airdrop, or buy insurance. Let's go ahead and touch on that. Crowns are the real world money currency that Vigor uses. You can earn small amounts in game, but typically if you want something like any of the cool cosmetics or whatnot, you're going to have to shell out some cash. And you can do the same thing for your encounters if you want to. If you boost the lobby, what that means is you increase the amount and the quality of the loot found in that particular encounter for everyone in that encounter. It's not just for you. So what does that mean? Say in a regular encounter, you go into a house and you loot 2 glass. In your boosted encounter, you'll find around, say, 10 or 12 glass versus the 2. Same thing if you open up a weapons crate. In a non-boosted encounter, you'll find yourself a Thompson. In a boosted lobby, you could find yourself a PPSH or even an SG-1. But if you do die in the encounter, those crowns are gone. You do not get them back, nor do you get to keep the materials that you found while in the encounter. Airdrops. The crate is always a common crate to start with, but if you boost the crate, you can boost it up to make it a gold crate if you want to. Again, if you die in the encounter, that airdrop will go to somebody else. Now, insurance will protect all of your items. The items that you first went into the encounter with, and anything that you came across and looted while in the encounter, that's still in your bag. So if you looted something and dismantled it, that doesn't count. But whatever's in your backpack, that stuff is safe. When it comes to aiming, it's a lot easier and it's much more accurate to aim in third person in Vigor. I know for some that will take some getting used to, but I promise you, at the end of the day, once you're used to it, your aiming and your shooting and your KPE, kills per encounter, will go up. Now, if you're using a scope weapon, of course, you could still zoom in like you're in a first-person shooter. Just simply press R3. So if you're using, say, an SG-1 or an H-bar or a sniper and you want to zoom in, you can do so. But if you are short range to medium range in a gunfight, you'll have better luck with a third person point of view. Now you could press R1 on the PlayStation controller, RB on the Xbox controller, I forget what it is on the Switch, and you can actually change your shouldering. Typically you aim on your left shoulder with your left shoulder here in Vigor. If you press R1 or RB, like I said, you can change to your right shoulder. You can even strafe back and forth, that way if you get really good at it. How to switch weapons. This is a question that I get quite a bit. On PlayStation, press triangle. On Xbox, press Y. If that doesn't work, or if you have more than 2 weapons on you, press R1 on PlayStation, RB on Xbox, and you'll bring up your scroll wheel, allowing you to switch to your next weapon or your previous weapon. Now, one other thing in terms of the controls, as you know, in Vigor, once you start to get a bunch of loot, you get heavier. You run out of stamina much quicker. You can actually put your weapons away and run without any weapons equipped, allowing you to run a little bit quicker for a little bit longer. On PlayStation, hold down Y. On Xbox, hold down... Or sorry, Xbox is Y, PlayStation is triangle. I'm getting the two mixed up. Yeah, hold the button down and you'll put your weapons away, allowing you to run a little bit faster, a little bit longer. Radiation warning. It's there for a reason. Unless you are fully stocked up on iodine, you need to get out. If you're new to the game and you don't really know where all of the exits are or exactly how to get to them, as soon as you hear that warning, get out. And talking about maps, now that we have map selection in Vigor, you can see that you can stay on the same map for roughly 1 hour at a time. Stay with the one map, learn where the exits are, because the last thing that you want is to be stuck in an encounter with a bag full of really good loot and good weapons, but you don't know how to get out. So, stay with the one encounter, learn it, learn where the exits are so that you can get out. Car alarms are a new thing that got added into the new season here, Season 6. Meaning, if you loot a car, or even bump into a car, the car alarm will go off. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have heard that, but what you might not know is that while the alarm is going off, if you pull up your map, the car that you hit, there will be a flashing red icon on the map for all other players to see, giving away your position. Now, previously, in the other seasons, we would use cars for protection during gunfights, but now you kind of need to weigh out that option a little bit more, because anybody in the surrounding area, if they're close enough, they could pinpoint where you are and come and third party that fight that you're in. So, but yeah, there you have it. There are some more tips and tricks that I thought I would mention here in Vigor. There's a couple of things that are kind of obvious that I did touch on as well, like you do need to bring in however many bullets you want, however much ammo you want for whatever weapon you are currently using in that encounter. You need to equip all of that stuff before you actually go into a encounter. You can save your loadout so that you can always have the same stuff if you really want to. Those options are at the crafting bench as well, and that's that. When it comes to your crafting bench, I did mention this in another video, but the first thing you want to upgrade is just the crafting table for your weapons and your consumables. Then upgrade your rat traps and your food and whatnot so that you have enough food to donate in the food basket each week, and eventually you'll have enough to donate 10,000 food per week. Get yourself 1 crate of each rarity type. It's just another way for extra XP, extra weapons, extra cosmetics, so on and so forth. There are little red crates scattered around the map. Those are actually airdrops, and just like the regular airdrop, when you pick it up, it will give your position away. Now, you can't keep that airdrop and the one that right now Santa is dropping here in the Christmas event, so be mindful that if you do pick it up, not only will players know where you are, but that's the only airdrop you can carry, so you might want to get out if you do have a bunch of loot on you. Pretty much that is the bulk of everything that I wanted to discuss. There are other things like which weapons you should use and whatnot, but that's all kind of personal preference in my opinion. I was using the regular VZ rifle for the longest time, for those of you that have been asking and kind of curious what weapon I use for my starter gun. I didn't really use shotguns or anything else. I found the VZ, if you could learn the recoil, was a pretty darn good weapon. Still is. I was taking out a few SG-1s tonight with it, and yeah, it's a pretty decent gun. So, but if you do have any other questions or concerns, please feel free to leave them in the comment section. If anyone else has any other tips that I didn't mention in this video, again, please feel free to leave them for others so that they can read them and learn. But other than that, drop a like on the video if you guys enjoyed it or found it helpful. Consider subscribing for more Vigor content, and don't forget that you can always follow me over on Twitter @AfflictedGamer. Other than that, I will see you all very soon in the next one.